So what are the attributes of integrity? Remember at the intro of the video, we were talking about what attribute is. Attribute means what will I notice that will allow me to know that the person has integrity. And I give an example of a Yoruba man. How will I know that this person is Yoruba? Probably the dress they wear, probably the way they greet, the dresses they wear gives it up. So okay, I would like to know that this person is a Yoruba man. The dress, the language, their greeting style, probably um the way they behave. So those are attributes. Attributes are things that allow me to recognize. So if I say give me attributes of a car, that means what will I see in this thing that will make me know, oh, this is a car. For example, in a tricycle, I would see three wheels. In a car, I will see four wheels. An attribute of a car. So the same way it is when we're talking about attributes of integrity, I'm saying what are the things that I will notice that will allow me to know this person is a person of integrity. So the number one thing I would notice is that the person is a reliable person. The person can be depended upon. The person can be depended upon. So what does it mean when they say somebody can be depended upon? The person can be trusted, the person can be depended upon, they solve problems and do not leave them halfway. So, like I said at the other video, imagine you have a friend that has been committing crimes a lot. The person being depended upon means that if that person comes and says this is the truth, there is no doubt. Why? Because the person has been trusted and can be depended upon. So anybody in your community that you see that their words are trusted, they know there is no gossiping, there is no backbiting, there is no malice in their words, then you know that this person can be trusted and this person can be depended upon. Another way of reliability is that they solve problems and do not leave them halfway, meaning they are willing to give it all it takes to solve a particular problem. They are not lazy. A staff that is a person of integrity is always willing to go the extra mile to solve a problem for the company, or a person in the community that is a person of integrity is willing to solve problems and do not leave it halfway regardless of the difficulty. So next we have honesty, and we talked about honesty the last time. And we said honesty is simply telling the truth, telling the truth, telling the truth, and being straightforward in all dealings. The person does not lie or deceive others. What does it mean when they say somebody is straightforward? So we know that honesty is telling the truth. Being straightforward is quite different from telling the truth. I can tell you the truth, but I can be manipulative in it. For example, let me give you a practical example of how this can play out. Let us say I bought, let us say I bought this book. I bought this book for, let me say, 500 naira, and the customer comes. Let's have our customer come, and the customer says, I'm going to buy this book for 1,000 naira, right? 1,000 naira. I can tell the truth and tell the customer that this book I can't sell it. Okay, no, don't let us say 1,000 naira. Let us say the customer comes and says, I want to buy this book for 300 naira. Let us say 300 naira, which is quite lower than how much I bought it. So I can tell the customer that comes and tell the customer that I bought this book for 500. Am I telling the truth? Yes. I bought this book for 500. So I can't sell it anything below 500. And so let us say the customer then says, okay, I will pay 600. I'll pay 600 for it. You make a profit of 100 naira. Whereas I did not buy the book for 500. Whereas I bought the book for 400. Because I bought it in bulk. If I'm selling individually, if I'm selling it piece by piece, it is 500. But if I buy 10 books now, if I buy 10 books, they are selling it for me at 400. Have I told the truth by telling the customer I bought it 500? Yes, in a way, because individual, like the individual book is 500, but because I bought it in a collective, in a group, it drops the cost down to 400. So I am telling the truth in a way, but I'm not being straightforward. Instead of me to tell the customer that, okay, I bought 10 books and that dropped the price to 400. But if I want to buy it individually, I would have to pay 500. And so the customer then decides how much to pay me. That in such a way, I've told the truth, one, and I've also been straightforward, two. That's a very practical example of what I'm trying to describe. So honesty is not just telling the truth, it's also being straightforward. There is no malice, there is no way or ideas on how to cheat a person. Because sometimes what honesty is that a lot of people are looking for ways to cheat, and there is no any of all those situations in honesty. The person does not lie or deceive others. So let's move to the next attribute of honesty, of integrity, sorry. So another attribute of integrity is that another attribute of integrity is that personal growth. So what does personal growth means? The personal growth means that the person is willing to be better every day. That's what personal growth is. So the person keeps on learning. So if they tell the person, okay, you did something bad the previous time, they would be willing to learn, and after they are learning, they'll be willing to improve on it. So they'll be willing to learn, they'll be willing to improve every day, and they are honest with themselves and they are open to change, meaning they are not stubborn, and they know that there's not they have things to work upon. So next we have accountability. Accountability means that a person takes responsibility for their actions. They take responsibility for their actions, accept blames when wrong, and stands by the outcome. So the person is not dodging responsibility. So for example, the person told the truth. Let's imagine that this person told the truth. If the person has a co-worker that stole 100,000 naira, for example, and the boss is asking, who stole the 100,000 naira? And the person with integrity says, yes, I know the person who stole the 100,000 naira is this other co-worker. And this other co-worker happens to be somehow related to the management, and they end up sacking the person. The person that had integrity, that told the boss that this is the person that stole it, has to take responsibility for the action. They will rather stand by, remember we said they will rather stand by by living by strong moral principles. Their strong moral principles dictates that they have to tell or report or accept responsibility for what they have done or what they know. Another attribute of integrity is strong moral principles. We have talked about this, and it's always the person always does the right thing for the right reason and refuses to compromise. Compromise means to accept bribe, to be to give excuses why you don't want to do something. You know that somebody has done something bad. If you're a person, or if yourself did something bad, you are willing to do the right thing for the right reason and not look for a way to protect yourself. The next attribute of integrity is respectful. And a person of integrity is generally very respectful. They treat others with respect. I want you to take note of that. Treat others with respect, value their beliefs, and avoid looking down on people. I'm sure you have heard this popular proverb, do not judge a book by its cover. What does this simply mean? It means that you do not look down on people because of the way they appear. A person of integrity is willing to treat others with respect, meaning they are willing to treat other people the way they like to be treated. So they see everybody in their community as being equal. They are not better than anybody, and any other person is not better than them. In the same vein, they value other people's belief. So, for example, in a person of integrity would be accommodating to a community member that is a Muslim when they are Christian. They don't say, because, oh, this person does not have the same beliefs as me, I would be willing to kill the person. No, they are willing to tolerate or accommodate this person despite the differences in beliefs. Or in tribe, for example, a Yoruba man is neighbor with an Hausa family, Obviously, you know that they will have different values or different beliefs. A person of integrity doesn't say, "Oh, because this person is Yoruba, this person is Hausa and I'm Yoruba, um, I will be indifferent to them, I'll be wicked to them, I'll be brutal to them." No. Next attribute of contentment, a next attribute of integrity is contentment. And contentment is being satisfied with what you have, whereas there's no greed, covetousness, and you're living with gratitude. That's an attribute of integrity, because a person of integrity, if the person is content with what they have, they are willing to live by what? Strong moral principles. They are willing to do the right thing, and they are willing to be honest. So in the next set of videos, we'll be talking about why do we need people of integrity in the community.